I just got to Walmart to do a little grocery shopping and also pick up a grocery order because we are heading out of town for a little family get together in Broken Bow, Oklahoma. If you are from Oklahoma or Arkansas or Texas, you probably already know about Broken Bow. It's a small town in the very southeastern corner of Oklahoma, and over the last couple of decades, it's become a pretty popular vacation spot, especially for families and large groups. People started building these beautiful luxury vacation properties, rentals of all different sizes. My husband and I have been with just our 3 kids and gotten a very small property. We've been with groups as large as 20 plus. A lot of them are on large lots, so you have some privacy and some really great outdoor spaces in these places, but it's really close to a lot of restaurants and coffee shops and breweries and just places to hang out. And it's absolutely beautiful. A lot of people, when they think about Oklahoma, they think of just these like rolling plains and waving wheat, but this looks a little bit more like East Texas with the hills and the pine trees. There's lots of hiking, fishing, lots of outdoorsy things to do. It's very close to Beavers Bend State Park. It's great for those of us who like the outdoors, but we don't want to rough it. Those of us who are outsidesy, not outdoorsy. So we're heading down there today to meet up with some of my family to celebrate my parents' 80th birthdays. Both my parents, Grandpa and Grammy Pammy, turned 80 this past spring. And I am definitely going to take advantage of the opportunity to cook in an actual kitchen. Which I have not been able to do for about the past 6 weeks or so. So I made a meal plan and put everything into my Walmart account thinking I would do a grocery pickup close to the destination where we're going. But when I went to check out, a lot of the items that I wanted were unavailable there. So I just decided I have a good cooler. I will run in and grab all of the cold stuff because it will be easy just to throw it right in here. And then I will drive around to the side and pick up the rest of my grocery order, all the things that don't need to be refrigerated, because then they can just put them right here in the car and it's ready to go. One of the things that stresses me out about traveling is packing. I'm always afraid I'm gonna forget something.
Vitamins.
Check.
Minerals.
Check.
List of daily fruits and vegetables.
Check, check.
Or that I'm going to get to the place where I'm going and regret not having packed something that I left behind. And if you watch my channel, you know I love a good shortcut. I love a way to simplify things and take some of the stress out of it so I'm not so overwhelmed. A few of the ways I do this when I'm packing for a trip are to pare down jewelry and accessories and take just a few items that I can wear with everything that I'm taking. I also simplify my makeup, my hair, my personal care so I don't have to pack my whole bathroom. So I'm usually looking for items that serve multiple purposes. Like a hair straightener that also curls, a makeup foundation that already has SPF in it, a tinted lip balm that can also serve as a lipstick. So a razor that doesn't need shaving cream definitely piqued my interest because that's another big bulky item that I can leave at home. The Flamingo Moisture Plus razor is made to simplify your shave routine. It's a 4-blade razor designed to glide gently over your skin. Plus it has 2 moisture bars. So even without shaving gel or cream, you can still get a comfortable, clean, close shave.
Clean close shave.
Plus at around just 12 bucks, it's a great value, and refill blades start at around $3. You can check out the new Flamingo Moisture Plus razor by following the link in the description box or scanning the QR code here, or you can find them in Target or Walmart stores like I did. And thank you again to Flamingo for sponsoring today's video. Let's get back to it. I am out enjoying a break in the rain and getting a little sunshine near our house that we have rented here in Broken Bow. We arrived yesterday first, me and Brick and McKenna, followed pretty quickly by my brother and his wife. Got the lay of the land, looked around our cabin a little bit. It's not really a cabin. It's cabin-esque in the vibe, but it's definitely just a really large home that is great for big families meeting together. My parents and my husband with Ruthie arrived later. My husband had to stay behind in Tulsa a little longer because she was coming back from another trip that she's been on with a friend. And then my oldest sister and her husband and one of her daughters were the last to arrive last night. And we just picked up a couple of pizzas in town at a local pizza place that's pretty famous around here called Grateful Head. And we enjoyed, you know, snacks and pizza, hanging out together. Got a little fishing in. My husband and my son were really enjoying fishing off the balcony at the place where we're staying.
See, Mindy, Mom, take it off the hook now.
You don't do it for me.
The last 3 of my oldest sister's kids are arriving this afternoon. They are the last of our group that is gathering. Unfortunately, we couldn't get everybody from the family on the same weekend. We all have pretty busy schedules, but there will be 15 of us in all, and I am making dinner tonight for 15 basically adults, because my children are the youngest people here, and they basically eat like adults, especially my son, my 11-year-old son. Basically eats like a grown man. If you want to recreate the meal that I made here, if you are feeding a crowd and you want to serve a similar meal, here's a list of everything that I purchased to make this meal. And I did not really use any recipes, but I will try to find some similar things and leave them linked in the description box below. I did a little bit of prep work last night. I am doing sort of like a carnita style pork. So I got my big pork butt roast brining in a big pot of salt water in the fridge overnight. I was very excited to discover that there is a crock pot here. So I got that going in the crock pot this morning. I just used a carnita seasoning, like a packet that I got at Thrive Market a couple months ago that's been in my pantry. I just took the easy road. You can season it however you like. So it is cooking in the crock pot on high. It'll cook all day and be ready to shred up tonight. I also prepped a little homemade pico, just diced up tomatoes, onion, cilantro, lime juice, and salt. That has been in the refrigerator since last night. I just think it's better when you make it a night ahead if you can. Let it sit in the refrigerator for a little while. And also like a little corn salad. I made some corn in the microwave, some corn on the cob, just heated it up, sliced it off the cob, sliced up a cucumber, some more tomatoes. I dressed it with just a little oil and vinegar, salt and pepper. I'll put a little lime juice on it later, put some cotija cheese, and that has been in the refrigerator also. Okay, we're still about an hour and a half away from dinner, but everybody's getting a little snacky, so we're gonna doctor up some of this queso. This is the white queso from Walmart. I'm gonna put some stuff in it and make it delicious. I am warming this up in a little saucepan on the stove. You can do this in the microwave in short increments, like 30 to 60 seconds. But I'm just gonna put that little container of queso into my pot. I'm going to add about a 1/4 cup, 2 to 3 tablespoons or so of salsa, and also some regular shredded cheese. This is just a blend of cheddar cheeses, a little bit of sour cream, probably about 2 tablespoons or so. And then I'm gonna add some of this pinto bean seasoning. I love this as an all-purpose seasoning, especially when we're traveling and I don't want to pack up a whole, spice cabinet of seasonings. This came in handy for a lot of things that I'm making for this meal. You're going to see me use it over and over again. So I just heated this up on low heat, and as soon as the cheese was all melted and it was toasty, I set it out with some tortillas and salsa and chips, and everybody could snack on that while I got the rest of the dinner together. I cooked my pork shoulder for 10 to 12 hours total on high. It was about a 10-pound pork shoulder, bone in. It was fork tender after that time and ready to shred up. And I'm also cooking up 3 pounds of ground beef. I'm going to use these 2 taco seasonings from Mateo's to make up some seasoned ground beef so that people can have either the pork shoulder or the pork roast, or they can have the ground beef, or they can have both in their burrito bowls. When my beef was done cooking, I put it in a little cake pan, like a disposable foil pan, and put it into the oven to keep warm. And now I'm gonna work on some refried beans. I have about a 1/4 cup of chopped onions sauteing there in a little bit of oil, and I'm going to add a few cloves of garlic that I minced as well once the onion starts to get translucent. When the garlic is fragrant, after about 60 seconds in the pot, I'm gonna add my beans. I'm using 1 can of regular pinto beans and then 2 cans of refried beans. You could use all refried beans, you could use black beans. This is just the mixture that I wanted to use to get the texture that I wanted. I'm adding a generous amount of this pinto bean seasoning, probably a couple of teaspoons. And then once that is all combined, salt and pepper to taste if you want some of that. I'm just going to let it simmer covered on the stove on low. And right before I serve it, I'm going to add some sour cream and a little sprinkling of cotija cheese. I'm making up the rice next. I'm using basmati rice. You could use a different kind of rice if you want. You might have to adjust the liquids that you add, but I am going to toast up 3 cups of this basmati rice and a couple tablespoons of oil that I heated up. You could also saute some onion and garlic in that oil before you add the rice. I just happen to be out of onion at this point, so I didn't use it. I'm adding in 2 8-ounce cans of tomato sauce. These are the little cans. And then I'm gonna use some of that pinto bean seasoning, again, probably a couple of teaspoons, salt and pepper to taste. And then I'm adding 4 cups of water. That should give 6 cups total of liquid to my rice. Once that comes to a simmer, I am going to cover it, turn the heat down to low, let it cook for 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, I'm going to turn the stove off. I'm gonna remove it from the heat and just let it sit covered for at least an additional 10 minutes so that the rice can finish cooking by steaming, and then it will be ready to go. I also made up some fajita veggies. I just chopped up, I think 5 bell peppers and about 1/4 of an onion. This is why I didn't have any onion left for the rice, because I used it in the fajita veggies. And I just sauteed those on the stove with a little bit of oil and some more of this pinto bean seasoning, salt and pepper to taste, until the veggies were tender and ready to serve. I did this right before I set everything out. This is like the last thing I did before serving it. And then it's just time to set everything out, get it ready for people to make up their burrito bowls. I did also chop up some lettuce. We have some shredded cheese. We have some sour cream. I want to give a special shout out to my niece who stopped by H-E-B on her way up from Texas to get those tortillas for us. I got the corn salad and the pico out from the refrigerator and just let everybody kind of build their bowls as they wanted to. This is a great meal that can be eaten, you know, in shifts. Like, it's not something that has to be eaten right away. If people want to eat across the 30-minute time period or an hour time period, leaves a lot of great leftovers to have the next day, which we enjoyed the next night. We actually didn't have to cook another meal while we were there because we were able to eat up the rest of what we had from this night. And I had intended to make a cake for them, but my amazing sister-in-law brought desserts from Cheesecake Factory and Nothing Bundt Cake, so that was one less thing to do, and we just enjoyed getting to celebrate my parents.
Happy birthday to you. 1, 2, 3. Yay!